Welcome back, everybody. This is the Last Gate Jumper. My name is Carl, and today I'm going to be talking to you about Skull Knight in Another World. Skull Knight came out in 2022, spring that year, I believe. It's a isekai anime with a little bit of a twist on it compared to the other ones. Unlike the other animes where it has a human or elf or dwarf or some other typical anime fantasy protagonist, this one we have as a skeleton. Now, I've only seen this done once before, and that was with Overlord. But the two are quite different. Whereas Overlord is more of a grim, dark fantasy. The character, his form is causing him to have more negative thoughts, doesn't need to eat, or doesn't need to have all that much in the way of sleep. He needs to sleep, I think, but not that much. Whereas his other character in Skull Knight, he seems to be in full control of his faculties. He still is hungry for food. Um, Still has full control of his emotions, I think. So there's a little bit of a difference there. It just makes Skull Knight a little bit more unique compared to Overlord. Now, let me jump into the story. It does have a pretty typical way of going at it as an isekai. Character's playing a video game the night before. Now he's in this world. He doesn't know what's going on. You know, the basic stuff. Doesn't make it bad. Just, pretty typical, pretty tropical of it. Now, as he's there, he realizes that he has some high tier armor, he has some fantastic spells, so he starts testing it out and finds that the rules of the world kind of mirror what the rules were for the video game. For the video game, if you want to teleport short distances, you have to click in a certain area just around you. And in that world, you have dimensional shift, where you can only make short teleporting jumps. Now there is a teleporting spell that makes you go a longer distance called Gate, and in the video game you can use that to teleport to any city. Whereas here in this world, I believe you can pretty much go anywhere you want a long distance, but you first have to travel there. So, anyways, our main character now starts making his way to the city because he doesn't have any money or food on him. And as I said, the difference between him and Isengol is that he still needs to eat because he still is hungry. So he needs to go find some work, and since he's already has a knight suit and all these abilities, why not go become an adventurer? So he goes to a mercenary guild because there is no adventuring building in this world. I kind of like that. It's just kind of more real. So anyways, he goes to the mercenary guild, talks to the mercenary attendant there who informs him like, hey, if you want jobs here at the mercenary guild, you're going to have to go and slay either 3 monsters, 3 beasts, or take out 3 bandits. And our character's like, okay, sweet, I'm gonna go take care of this. And he heads off and starts slaying those beasts and monsters. Now, while he's doing this, he comes across a group of bandits who just slew a whole bunch of soldiers that were guarding a carriage. And inside that carriage was a young lady and her maid, who the bandits were now just about to take advantage of. Thankfully, though, our uh, skeleton knight comes in and slays the bandits and saves the ladies before anything too untoward happens to them. Now, while the ladies are um, resituating themselves, our guy goes around and starts looting the bandits. Like, of course you got to. You got no money, you got nothing to your name, really. So, what are you going to do? You got to go make a living off these guys. Well, I shouldn't say a living. You got to loot these guys so you can have at least some funds. Once he's done doing that and the girls are ready to leave, they then travel to the city together where he reveals that his name is Ark and his intent is to just travel around the world, which we already knew, but just reconfirms that for um, the listeners, I guess. Anyways, once they get to the city, I presume they split because then he heads off to the mercenary building and is rewarded with his card. Now, everyone there is pretty surprised, like, what the heck, man? How the heck did you get this done so fast? Because no one's seen it. But he's just that good. So, anyways, he grabs his card and he heads off to the inn to have a wonderful meal. Now, I gotta say, the one location I probably enjoyed the most was probably actually the guild hall. It had the most character out of all the locations we saw, most uniqueness. The forest, yeah, is your standard anime forest. The city was your standard anime city. So there wasn't really anything all about that that was different. But the guild hall, I did enjoy that. It did look a little bit different from what you typically see as a guild hall. So props to you guys there. But Personally, I also would say this anime is probably going to rank 8 out of 10. They did an excellent job introducing your character. They did a good job telling the story. I didn't want to go on my phone and scroll because some stories do that. Kept my attention, so they did a great job there. Now, I also gotta mention that they had a little bit of character development, not much. There, I even hesitate to call it character development, but what they did do is that he had to real. They introduced that he had to realize that as a skeleton, he can't really walk around without his helmet on because surprise, surprise, some Avengers will kill you. So he has to keep his helmet on permanently around people, and also people see him as a Grand Knight, so he has to change his manners to reflect that. So, as I said, light, I hesitate to even call it character development, but it's things that he's going to have to adapt to and take on. So, I'll go and accept that as character development. But as I said, I personally enjoyed the anime. If you enjoy isekais and fantasy, I highly recommend Gaming Skull Knight. Look, it's worth your while. And thank you for watching the review. I hope you guys all have a wonderful day and catch you later. Bye.